Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Ninja Warrior Podcast. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the second episode of American Ninja Warrior Junior Season 3, which is part 2 of the qualifiers. Yep, without any further ado, let's just get right into it with the first matchup of the day for the 9-10-year-old age group, which was Aaron Deal and Cade Sky.
Yeah, and by the way, no, we don't have any more kind of preview thing we're doing. We're just going straight into it here. Yeah, but here we go. So, Aaron Deal and Cade Sky. We had a segment on Cade Sky. We basically talked about his YouTube channel, The Fun Squad, and this was a really annoying segment.
Yeah, they kept on having them sing and show their YouTube channel. It sounded like they really had nothing else to talk with this kid. And we're going to be hearing the story again and again because he has two more siblings that are competing in future episodes. So we're going to see them again.
Yeah, my best hope was that they did not talk about this, at least not all that extensively ever again. Which they didn't really, but of course they had to mention it.
I don't think they could have went without mentioning it ever.
True, but yeah. But anyway, the race was actually really close, as once we got the flying saucer, Aaron Deal and Cade Sky, they were right neck and neck with each other, but Aaron Deal got out first, ended up hitting his buzzer, as the first making him the winner.
Yeah, but then the second seeding race was a fast forward between Gabriel Holder, who is apparently known as the Math Ninja, and Sophia Quinko Choi, who is known as the Dragon Ninja, which is actually quite a creative name. Unfortunately, Sophia ended up falling on Lunatic Ledgers. That was kind of a big surprise, expecting her to win, but that meant that Gabriel ended up grabbing the win for the first race.
Yeah, and that means the knockout round included Cade Sky and Gabriel Holder. Well, surprisingly enough, Gabriel Holder came away with a win.
Yeah, I was surprised because it showed Cade Sky being in the lead for most of it, but then Gabriel came back on the flying saucer, and ended up getting the buzzer first. So that was really surprising to me. But then we had Aaron Deal, and of course Sophia Quinko Choi, and we had the bio on Sophia where she talked about how she's a Dragon Ninja and her game face, as she calls it. It's just like a blank stare, and I guess it works kinda. Yeah, I guess kinda. Not surprising enough, she ended up coming away with the win. I mean, the final showdown was between her and Gabriel, with the winner being
Sophia, but they really had a fight for that win.
Yeah, Sophia was in the lead for most of that wave, but then Gabriel came back to make it close. Sophia got the dismount on the flying saucers first, but Gabriel, caught up on the warp wall and was only about half a second off. That was just a really fast-paced and intense race, and it meant Sophia was heading to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and allowed us to move on to the 11 and 12-year-old age group, which of course had its own seeding race, which had Jake Sky and Molly Steffel. Well, and Jesus Christ, this was not a race. This was a story.
I guess that's a way of putting it. We got a little bit into Molly Steffel, and we've seen her doing Kevin Bowles segments a lot, and we never really knew who she was, but we'd seen her a lot. She was the big icon of those segments. But now we finally got to know that she both has a cleft lip and has alopecia, and she was called an alien for that, and I definitely get why.
David, as a victim of bullying yourself, I think you should be a little bit more reasonable.
Well, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying. I get their point. Doesn't mean it's okay. Not by a long shot. But I'm just saying, I get the point. However, Molly Steffel definitely proved that no matter what condition you have, no matter who you are, you can definitely do well in Ninja.
Yeah, despite Jack Sky, I ended up winning the matchup. Molly put a all in it and just barely missed out on the warp wall. Oh, she came really close in that third attempt, but she just wasn't able to do it. But of course, we'll be able to see her in the knockout round.
Yep, and then we had the second matchup of the 11-12-year-old of the 11 12-year-old age group, which included
Dylan Yee and Grace Walk. And this was a lengthy segment.
Yeah, first off, we had Akbar playing the recorder, and this was quite funny because, like, it sounded so bad, and a lot of people, this triggered, like, a lot of nostalgic memories for me. I don't really know if you can call it nostalgic when, like, I know they probably didn't make you do this, but for me, we played the recorder in 4th grade, and they forced us to just... That was the only thing we did in music class. Literally the only thing. We were given those things, and literally every single time we'd go to music, make sure you have a recorder with you, And it was annoying just having to keep on blinking and playing it. I don't even remember how to play it anymore.
Like, it was supposed to prepare you for the clarinet. But here's the thing. You weren't forced to pick the clarinet. You could pick whatever you wanted when you got in the band. In addition to band being an elective, at least in my school. So it was kind of pointless in my case.
Same, like, I was given a band. I got into band for 5th grade, which was like a lot. Every kid did. Like, they gave them a chance. And, I didn't see many kids actually pick, like, things like clarinet and the flute. I think, like, one kid picked the flute, and I believe one kid picked the clarinet. But most kids went with blast instruments, or they went with percussion. Like, it was very rare you'd see one of those.
Yeah, I mean, there's saxophone too, but, like, did any kids pick saxophone in your school?
Nope. Like, saxophone was, like, more of the older kids played saxophone, while a lot of the younger kids, the 5th graders, would play trumpet, they would play French horn, like myself. They would play percussion. That was pretty popular. Like, we had more percussion players than any other class. Like, I remember one time, like, the concert would have, like, maybe 2 flute players. It was, like, 2 of each string instrument, if we were lucky. But then we'd have, like, 5 of each blast instrument, which was really just trumpet, French horn, and trombone.
Wow, like, blast was that popular?
Yeah, kinda. I always go to the string instruments, and of course the percussion guy. Like, there was a lot of percussion. Like, we had someone on drum set, we had someone on snare drum, we had someone on those xylophones. It was basically just like one big cluster, and it was unfair how many instruments were for each set.
Wow, we can't just like branch off to a band talk.
Well, I enjoyed band. Band was a lot of fun for the year I had it.
Yeah, it's cool, dude. But anyway, the other thing we had was Grace Walk, who we literally got nothing on.
Yeah. It kind of sucked, but we got a segment out on the knockout round, so that's good. But anyway, the race was off, and it ended up being Dylan Yee with the win. It wasn't even really all that close, but of course both of them got buzzers, so that was that. Anyway, after that, we had the knockout round, which had
Diane Yee and Molly Steffel. Diane falling on Spring Forward, and, that was pretty surprising thing, which meant Molly Steffel ended up coming away with the win and the buzzer as well. She hit her first. It was kind of surprising that Molly ended up moving on.
Yeah, because, like, she was taking the course really slowly, and it's really cool that for that final matchup, she would not be able to win it. But, of course, we had to determine who else was going to face her, and we had probably the worst piece of editing this show has seen so far in episode 2.
Yeah, this thing is so annoying. So we had a fast forward of Grace Walk and Jake Sky taking on the course, but they had like just with how close the waist was, so they had them keep on going. Each picture going on ahead of the meter and stuff, and that was just the entire time like a watermark, and it was so distracting.
Yeah, whenever I go to take the screenshot for the visual on the video, I'm definitely gonna have to find a way to remove it. I'd probably take a screenshot where you can see both competitors above the meter, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that. We will have to see.
But anyway, then we had the final matchup between Molly Steffel and Grace Walk. Well, Molly Steffel ended up getting another buzzer, but Grace Walk ended up coming away with the win. And I really hate how they didn't spotlight Grace at all, really.
Yeah, she won it. She moved on. But yet she was the only one of the 11 and 12-year-olds to not get a story. And that is really stupid.
Yeah, like, you think they want to talk about her at least once.
Yeah, like, there were a couple times you could have talked about her seating race, that knockout round that was fast forward of her race. Like, you could have talked about her then, and I think it would have been very beneficial. So, they focused this entire age group on Molly, and yes, it's cool having overcome this disease and effect on her. I think we should have at least some of the spotlight on Grace, especially since, she was the winner. She was in the finals.
Yeah, again, this is a very good. This is a theatrical show, because they would definitely do this.
Yeah, I mean, everyone will remind how they only showed 3 of Caden's. They only showed 4 of Caden's 6 ones, where they should have showed all of them, giving him a segment every time, which they totally didn't do to Vance.
Yeah, like, Vance deserved it, Caden deserved it more because he won. But, yeah, we're getting off topic here. But anyway, that just left the 13 and 14-year-olds age group, which started off with the matchup. Sebastian Tripster, who is the ghost ninja, who was born on Halloween, which is pretty ironic for our situation, because it is Halloween today.
Yeah, it is actually Halloween when we're filming this, but we're a little old for that. That's like not giving Halloween its credit, honestly. I mean, yeah, but here's the thing. Halloween, like, the last time I went trick-or-treating, I felt really weird being out there, so it's like, I didn't really feel it.
Yeah, and I don't personally have any younger siblings, so I don't really have a point of doing so. I just have a twin brother, okay, and both of us are just like, no, please, let's say no.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, we never really did my family barely did Halloween anything really, but I think it's like a part that I definitely missed out on.
I mean, I'd say, you didn't do anything Halloween related. Come on.
Yeah, and this year's no exception. I don't really feel like changing it, honestly. I could barely care.
Wow. But anyway, we talked about, the other ninja, Asa Reynolds, also known as Asa LaShesa. So, who is a dancer? And that's really all we got to say about him.
Yeah, that's all they had to say about him, too. But anyway, this race was kind of one-sided with Asa LaShesa basically blazing past Sebastian and getting the win.
Yeah, that leads to the second face-off between Jackson Airwoods, also known as Jackson, due to him being very accidental until prone to injuring himself, which should not be the focus of his story, but whatever. Well, and Joby Herman, also known as Joe Beast. Yes, and I think Joe Beast honestly reminds me of Caden Lepsek because of how he looks.
I guess so, because Caden has that long hair. He had, the backwards cap that he always wore. I guess you can say that. But it was really surprising as Jacoby ended up falling on the lunatic ledges, meaning the winner was Jackson Airwoods by a long shot. Which allowed us to move on to the knockout round, which had, of course,
Sebastian Quinmer and Jackson Airwoods, with Jackson Airwoods coming away with the win.
Yeah, Sebastian Quinmer. This one has some really good editing, where we have very tacky lighting effects as they hit the steps. Then they had some really good demon effect. That's when Sebastian fell, and they had him eaten by demons because he's because he's the ghost ninja. God darn it!
Yeah, we mentioned it last episode, but this show has some really stupid editing when it comes down to the fast forwards, and you're not getting anyone with that.
Yeah, they let's just say they really don't understand how younger kids act.
I know how it feels. But anyway, we're getting off topic here. We have the second match between Asa LaShesa, Asa Reynolds, and Jacoby Herman. When we were in Jacoby's store, and we had a very stupid segment that made his hat talk.
Yeah, that was definitely stupid. Not even another word, just stupid.
Yeah, and Jacoby ended up not winning the race, surprisingly enough. We had Asa the Seisha one.
Yep, and by the way, we had Akbar doing the running man in the stands, and I love how Matt comments, he taught you an old man stance, and Akbar's look just changes, and it looks like they wanted to add on more stuff, but they just cut it out.
Yeah, so that was still really funny. But of course that meant Asa Seisha went on to the final matchup against Jacob Elidos, which was a very one-sided race.
Yeah, Jackson Elidos, great boy, just passed Asa, and of course got the win. And that meant that he was moving on to the quarterfinals, and that wraps up our talk about episode 2.
Yeah, this podcast, this was a short one.
Yeah, we didn't really have much to talk about. We did a few things. Then we of course had to talk about Molly Steffel's story. 13, 14-year-olds. We had some good personalities in this one, but there wasn't really all that much to talk about when it came down to this episode in particular.
Yeah, there was some cool ones and stuff, but really nothing too special. And of course, there's the overabundance of Molly Steffel and how they literally focused only on her for the 11, 12-year-old age group races, especially the one she was in. And, like, even after her first race, she taught victorious moves, and they showed, like, that for, like, over a minute and a half, and that's just not necessary, man.
Yeah, it's what they wanted to sell her home, and I get that, but still, there was a point where a ninja has way too much spotlight.
Yeah, and of course, the editing for this episode was a lot worse than it was last episode, how we had all those really tacky effects on for the fast-forward segments that really didn't need to be there.
Yeah, like, they should have not have done that in the first place. Like, I think this is why, they really need to fire most of these editors and get on new ones who actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, get some people who actually watch the show, and maybe get some editors who can actually, show the competitors that need to be shown and not just, like, fast forward everyone but the guy who falls on the first obstacle.
I mean, at that point, they might as well. Well.
I mean, yeah, but, like, there was that one episode of season 13. I mean, I know I'm going off the top here, but there was one episode where they showed, like, a boxing female ninja who fell on the first obstacle, but that was, like, instead of showing, like, Sean Bryan or something.
Yeah, there were situations like that, and I feel like AEW Jr. also may have this problem as well going forward. But, of course, that is it for this episode of the Ninja Warrior podcast. This was, pretty one note. It really didn't need another tacky editing. There wasn't really much else to talk about on it. But, of course, it was still an alright episode.
Yeah, I think my personal favorite one had to be, Jacob. Had to be Jacoby. Like, I know, like, he didn't do all that well, but, like, I love his physique and his figure, his form, He didn't have one, but I think he was, like, a very standout competitor for this one. And I do hope we got to see him in Riot Card round for the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we haven't seen that one yet, but we're going to see it as soon as we can. But, of course, we will see you next week for another episode of Ninja Warrior Podcast when we cover episode 3 of American Ninja Warrior Jr., which is, of course, another qualifying round.
Yep, anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.